Welcome to day 38 of our Bible reading challenge. Today, we begin a new book, Leviticus, diving into chapters 1 through 3, where we explore the significance of offerings and sacrifices in worshiping God. Then, in Matthew 24 verses 23 to 51, Jesus warns about false messiahs and teaches on being watchful for his return. These passages remind us of God's holiness and the importance of staying spiritually alert. Grab your Bible and let's read together. Leviticus, the law of burnt offerings. The Lord called to Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when any one of you brings an offering to the Lord, you shall bring your offering of domestic animals from the herd, cattle, oxen, or from the flock, sheep, goats. If his offering is a burnt offering from the herd, he shall offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it at the doorway of the tent of meeting, so that he may be accepted before the Lord. He shall lay his hand on the head of the burnt offering, transferring symbolically his guilt to the sacrifice, that it may be accepted for him to make atonement on his behalf. He shall kill the young bull before the Lord, and Aaron's sons the priests shall present the blood and sprinkle the blood around the altar that is at the doorway of the tent of meeting. Then he shall skin the burnt offering and cut it into pieces. The sons of Aaron the high priest shall put fire on the altar and the burnt offering and arrange it on the fire. Then Aaron's sons the priests shall arrange the pieces on the wood which is on the fire that is on the altar. But he shall wash its entrails and the priest shall offer all of it up in smoke on the altar as a burnt offering. It is an offering by fire, a sweet and soothing aroma to the Lord. But if his offering is from the flock, of the sheep, or of the goats, as a burnt offering, he shall offer a male without blemish. He shall kill it on the north side of the altar before the Lord. And Aaron's sons the priest shall sprinkle its blood around the altar. He shall cut it into pieces with its head and its back, and the priest shall arrange them on the wood which is on the fire that is on the altar. But he shall wash the entrails and legs with water. The priest shall offer all of it, and offer it up in smoke. It is a burnt offering, an offering by fire, a sweet and soothing aroma to the Lord. But if his offering to the Lord is a burnt offering of birds, then he shall bring turtle doves or young pigeons. The priest shall bring it to the altar and wring off its head, and offer it up in smoke on the altar, and its blood is to be drained out on the side of the altar. He shall remove its drop of its feathers, and throw it next to the east side of the altar, in the place for ashes. Then he shall tear it open by its roots, but shall not sell it. And the priest shall offer it up in smoke on the altar, and the wood. It is a burnt offering, an offering by fire, a sweet and soothing aroma. Leviticus 2, the law of grain offerings. When anyone presents a grain offering to the Lord, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour olive oil over it, and put frankincense on it. He shall bring it to Aaron's sons the priests. Out of it he shall take a handful of the fine flour and oil, with all of its frankincense, and the priest shall offer this up in smoke on the altar as a burnt offering, as the memorial portion. It is an offering by fire, a sweet and soothing aroma. What is left of the grain offering belongs to Aaron and his sons. It is the most holy part of the offerings to the Lord by fire. When you bring an offering of grain baked in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mixed with oil, or unleavened wafers spread with oil. If your offering is grain baked in the oven, it shall be of fine unleavened flour mixed with oil. You are to break it in pieces, and you shall pour oil on it. It is a grain offering. Now if your offering is grain baked in the oven, it shall be made of fine flour with oil. When you bring a grain offering, it shall be presented to the priest, and he shall bring it to the altar and burn it. The priest shall take from the grain, offering its memorial portion, and offer it up in smoke on the altar. It is an offering by fire, a sweet and soothing aroma to the Lord. What is left of the grain offering belongs to Aaron and his sons. It is the most holy part of the offerings to the Lord by fire. No grain offering that you bring to the Lord shall be made with leaven, for you shall not offer up in smoke any leaven. which symbolizes the spread of sin, or any honey, which, like leaven, is subject to fermentation, and any offering by fire. As an offering of first fruits you may offer them, leaven and honey, to the Lord, but they shall not go up in smoke on the altar as a sweet and soothing aroma. You shall season every grain offering with salt, so that the salt, preservation, of the covenant of your God will not be missing. You shall offer salt with all your offerings. If you bring a grain offering of early ripening, you shall bring fresh heads of grain roasted in the fire, crushed grain and new bread, and grain offering. You shall put oil on it and lay incense on it. The priest shall offer up and smoke its memorial portion, part of the crushed grain and part of its oil and all its incense. It is an offering by fire to the Lord. Leviticus 3, the law of peace offerings. If a man's offering is a sacrifice of peace offerings, if he offers an animal from a herd, whether male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before the Lord. He shall lay his hand on the head of his offering, transferring symbolically his guilt to the sacrifice, and kill it at the doorway of the temple. Aaron's sons, the priest, shall sprinkle the blood around and around. From the sacrifice of the peace offerings, an offering by fire to the Lord, he shall present the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat which is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them at the loins, and the lobe of the liver which he shall remove. Aaron's sons shall offer it up in smoke on the altar, placing it on the burnt offering on wood. It is an offering by fire, a sweet and soothing aroma. If his peace offering to the Lord is an animal from the flock, male or female, he shall offer the animal without blemish. If he offers a lamb as his offering, then he shall present it. He shall lay his hand on the head of his offering and kill it before the tent of the Lord. Aaron's sons shall sprinkle its blood around the altar. From the sacrifice of peace offerings he shall bring as an offering by fire to the Lord its fat, the entire fat tail which he shall remove close to the backbone, and the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat which is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on the loins, and the lobe of the liver, which he shall remove with the kidneys. The priest shall offer it up in smoke on the altar as food, an offering by fire to the Lord. If his offering is a goat, he shall present it before the Lord, and he shall lay his hand on its head, transferring symbolically his guilt to the sacrifice, and kill it before the tent of the Lord. And the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle its blood around on the altar. Then he shall present from it as an offering by fire to the Lord, the fat that covers the entrails, and all the fat that is on the entrails, and the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them at the loins, and the lobe of the liver which he shall remove. The priest shall offer them up in smoke on the altar as food. It is an offering by fire, a sweet and soothing aroma. All the fat is the Lord's. 17, it is a permanent statute wherever you may be, that you shall not eat any fat. Matthew 24, verse 23 to 51. Then if anyone says to you during the great tribulation, look, here is the Christ, or there he is, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will appear, and they will provide great signs and wonders, so as to deceive, possibly, even the elect of God's chosen ones. Listen carefully, I have told you in advance. So if they say to you, look, he is in the wilderness, do not go out there, or look, he is in the inner rooms of a house, do not believe. For just as the lightning comes from the east and flashes as far as the west, so will be the coming in glory of the Son of Man. Everyone will see him clearly. Wherever the corpse is, there the vultures will fly. Job 39, verse 30, the glorious return. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not provide its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. And at that time the sign of the Son of Man, coming in its glory, will appear in the sky. And then all the tribes of the earth, and especially Israel, will mourn, regretting their rebellion and rejection of the Messiah. And they will see the Son of Man coming on clouds of heaven in power and great glory, in brilliance and splendor. And he will send his angels with a loud trumpet, and they will gather together his elect, God's chosen ones, from the four winds, from one end of the heavens to the other. Parable of the fig tree. Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its young shoots become tender and it puts out its leaves, you know that summer is near. So you, too, when you see all these things taking place, know for certain that he is near, right at the door. I assure you, and most solemnly say to you, this generation, the people living in these signs and wonders will not pass away until all these things take place. Heaven and earth, as now known, will pass away, but my word will not pass away. But of that exact day and hour no one knows, not even the angels know, nor the Son in his humanity, but the Father alone. For the coming of the Son of Man, the Messiah, will be just like the days of Noah. For as in those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the very day when Noah did not know or understand until the flood came and swept them all away. So with the coming of the Son of Man, unexpectedly, at that time 2 men will be in the field. One will be taken for judgment, and one will be left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill. One will be taken for judgment, and one will be left. Be ready for his coming. So be alert, give strict attention, be cautious and active in faith, for you do not know which day, whether near or far, your Lord is coming. But understand this, if the head of the house had known what time of the night the thief was coming, he would have been on the alert and would not have allowed his house to be taken. Therefore, you who follow me must also be ready, because the Son of Man is coming in an hour when you do not expect it. Who then is the faithful and wise servant whom his master has put in charge of his household to give the others in the house their food and supplies? Blessed is that faithful servant when his master returns and finds him doing so. I assure you, and most solemnly say to you, that he will put him in charge of all his possessions. But if that servant is angry and says in his heart, my master is taking his time, he will not return. He begins to beat his fellow servants and to eat and drink with drunkards. The master of that servant will come up again, and he does not expect him, and at an hour of which he is not aware, and will cut him in two and put him in another place. In that place there will be weeping over sorrow and pain, and grinding of teeth over distress and pain. That wraps up day 38 of our Bible Learning Challenge. Today, we saw how the offerings in Leviticus point to God's holiness and our need for atonement, while Jesus' words in Matthew remind us to stay vigilant. If this reading blessed you, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next day's reading. Open Book Sparkles, let's continue growing in God's Word together. See you in the next video. God bless.